Dog owners, unite. Are you ready to get to know your dog better? Welcome to America's Dog Whisperers with Mark German and Janice Wolf. This program will help make your good dog great and your great dog fabulous. Now, here's Mark and Janice.
Hello all, welcome to our show. This is Janice Wolf, the Lady Dog Whisperer, New Jersey's Dog Whisperer, and Mark will be with us shortly. Welcome to the show. Today I'm broadcasting from Adele. Everybody who knows Lonesome Dove, I'm actually at her computer right now, so sorry she's not on. But we're going to have a great show. Today we're going to talk about a little bit more about setting rules. I'm in Houston, Texas, so if anybody out there has a dog with issues, please let me know, and I will help you while I'm here, and then I'll be back in New Jersey again. So, a couple of interesting things that have happened in the last couple of days. We've been doing a lot of really aggressive dogs. Texas, you've got your more than your fill and more than your share of aggressive dogs. But what Mark and I have been noticing every week, and we keep talking about, is the fact that in this economic time, with the elections, with everything going on that's going on now, and people losing jobs and the economy and all, we've been seeing more and more aggressive dogs every single time we get a phone call. As a matter of fact, we are rarely seeing dogs that have not kind of started being aggressive. Today, our Houston Whisperer, the Gulf Coast Dog Whisperer, Michaela, and I have been out at some dogs, and real cute little dogs, Bichons and Shih Tzus and all the little fluffy dogs. And amazingly enough, even these little dogs that have been bred for hundreds of years to be companion animals and without aggression are becoming aggressive. And this is definitely a trend that we've been noticing. So I'm hoping Anna in the UK is there to let us know how her Jack Russell terrorists are today. But basically, everybody there has to remember that the dogs are picking up on our energy. So what's happening when you guys are getting stressed, or when your husband comes home with his 8-year-old son from a Cub Scout trip that he just got rained out on and comes in and is nasty or stressed, the dogs are going to pick up on that. We just came from a house that we had just that. Now, somebody here wrote about aggressive dogs generally mean aggressive owners. No, not actually at all. And by the way, aggressive has 2 G's in it. So, aggressive dogs come from owners that are not leaders. It doesn't actually, thank you, Teresa. Aggressive owners, that's another story. Those are the ones that shouldn't have dogs. But the problem is that aggression is not the end result. It's a symptom. So in other words, when your dog has issues, what that means is that your dog now is taking over the pack leadership role. Once your dog becomes the pack leader, guess what? You're not. So in those moments that your dog is the pack leader, you're not the pack leader, if that makes sense. Think about your own lives. If you have, let's say you're the president of a company, or you're the owner of a pizza store, pizzeria. You own the company. You can decide what colors you want. You can decide what you're going to serve on the menu. You can decide anything you want because you own the place. But you know, Vito, who's your delivery boy, isn't going to come in and tell you that you're doing things wrong or you're going to fire him. So what it really amounts to is either you own the company or you don't. Well, with dogs, you're it. If you are not it, all of a sudden, what winds up happening is that you become the pack member. So if you are the pack member, guess what? Your dog is the leader. Now, it's not important that you think you're the pack leader because you say, well, I buy him his stuff and I give him his food and all that. That's not the point at all. The point is that your dog thinks so. And guess what? If your dog thinks it's true, it's true. So, we have a couple of new people here. And just for everybody, I mean, most of you guys know who I am and who Mark is. Mark will be with us shortly. The problem is that I'm not an animal communicator. And people say that. People think that we are animal communicators. I'm not a psychic. I don't do that. What we are is behaviorists. So all I'm doing is, in the moment that your dog does something, whatever the behavior is, I'm correcting that one behavior and moving on. Dogs live in the moment, and we talk about this all the time. If the dogs live in the moment and we don't, that's, by the way, that's our little buddy Webster out here, so no problem there. Webster is actually Adele in Houston's dog. So exactly, we're not psychic. You got it, Shaylin. This is about treating your dog like a dog and giving him the 4 things he needs as a dog. Problem is, we treat our dogs like our babies. Now, some of you guys have seen, I have my 100-pound or 105-pound, 125-pound Rhodesian Ridgebacks on my lap. And those are just some of the puppies. Well, the reason that I have them on my lap is because I've invited them up. But those of you who have small dogs don't think it's a bad thing when your 20-pound or 10-pound dog jumps up on you. Guess what, though? If that were one of my dogs, a 125-pound dog, you wouldn't be so happy about it, would you? You'd be saying, oh, get your dog off of me. Your dog is so well behaved. He's rude. But you let your little dogs do it. So all we had to do, I'm sure there are a lot of attack Shih Tzus. There are a lot of little dogs that have more behavioral issues than a big dog, because if my 125-pound dog jumped on you, you'd have a problem with it. If he nipped at you, you'd say, hey, your dog just bit me. But your little 8-pound Chihuahua or 15-pound Shih Tzu or 25-pound Beagle mix, oh, look how cute. He's trying to chew on my hand. No, it's not cute. So, Sean, if you can write down some of the things here, there are 4 things that any dog needs. Any dog needs these 4 things to become stable. Sean Robinson. I didn't know your name was Sean, but thank you. Sean Robinson. So, Sean, if you can write these down, dogs need the following 4 things to become stable. They need leadership. They need walks. They need rules. And they need good nutrition. So since we have a small audience, we usually have a bunch of people, but Gary's not here today, so we may have fewer people. That's okay. You can still get it on iTunes, get the show. What we want to talk about briefly is the nutrition. I've spoken before about nutrition, and you guys, I'm sure a lot of you have seen Super Size Me. If you see Super Size Me, and you remember that this young guy in good shape, real robust guy, had actually eaten at one of the fast food restaurants for almost a month. And it was a show where he goes around and does whatever it is. He was a homeless guy for a month, and then he ate fast food. They actually had to stop the whole show because he was so sick and his kidneys and liver were starting to shut down. That was from eating only at fast food restaurants. Well, some of the food that you guys are giving your dogs is as bad as that or worse. So, here we go. These are foods to avoid. So, Sean, if you write these down, this is what we need to avoid. We need to avoid corn. We need to avoid wheat. And we need to avoid soy. Now, corn